countries that have never been invaded, including some in Asia. Do you know why they have never been invaded? First is a country very familiar to Vietnamese people, Japan. Japan is located in East Asia and is surrounded by us. Looking at the map, you'll see Japan is an archipelago stretching from north to south, with an area of over 377,000 square kilometers. S-shape quite familiar, reminiscent of Vietnam. This country has mountainous terrain covering over 70% of its area. Japan currently has about 125 million people, belonging to the group of populous nations. However, the country is facing an aging population, and young people are increasingly reluctant to marry and have children. This creates many challenges for Japanese society. Tokyo is the most populous city on the planet with about 37 million people, a huge number for an urban area. People mainly live in big cities because there are jobs, amenities, and a higher quality of life there. You might be wondering, why has Japan, a not overly large country, never been invaded or colonized before the 20th century? The answer lies in Japan's geographical location and other factors. First is geographical location. Japan is an island nation far from the Asian mainland. To invade Japan, one must cross the sea, and transporting troops by sea in ancient times was very difficult with no airplanes. Not to mention, even if land use is achieved, advancing troops is also because over 70% of the territory is rugged mountains, hard to traverse and easy to defend. In fact, Japan was once attempted to be conquered by the powerful Mongol Empire, a renowned empire in world history. But both Mongol attacks failed due to encountering major storms at sea. Kamikaze. This reinforced the Japanese belief that they would never be invaded. Not only thanks to nature, the Japanese also have a very fierce fighting spirit. In ancient times, samurai were willing to sacrifice their lives to protect their country. Today, the Japanese still maintain a high spirit of unity, especially when the country faces. Japan's diplomatic policy is also very wise. For many centuries, they implemented a closed-door policy, not allowing foreigners in, and prohibiting citizens from leaving to maintain stability. But later, Japan opened up and modernized in the late 19th century. During the Meiji Restoration, quickly building a powerful military force. Instead of being invaded by the US, Japan went on to invade other countries, rising as defeating Russia, defeating China, occupying many East Asian and Southeast Asian countries, astonishing the whole world. Another interesting point about Japan is its lack of resources. It may sound strange, but this country truly doesn't have many valuable resources like oil or minerals. This makes Japan an unattractive target for powers seeking to seize resources, hoping to avoid the calamity of invasion. The second country, very close to us, right in Southeast Asia, is Thailand. You are looking at Thailand, a very special case in the region. This is the only country in the region that has never become a colony of European powers. Thailand has many interesting factors and clever strategies, helping it maintain independence throughout the period when most neighboring countries were occupied. First, Thailand is located in a special geographical position. 1. This country can be considered located in Southeast Asia, right between two colonial powers. 2. To the west were the British, who then controlled Burma, now Myanmar. 3. To the east were the French with Laos and Cambodia, and further beyond, Vietnam. 4. Thailand served as a buffer zone between these two powerful. 5. The Thai people were very wise in leveraging this to negotiate with Britain. 6. They ceded some less important territories to both countries in exchange for their independence. 7. For example, ceding Laos to France and some southern lands to 8. Thanks to this, Thailand maintained peace and avoided direct confrontation with the two strong. 9. Additionally, Thailand also had very intelligent and skillful kings. 10. These were King Rama IV and King Rama V, who were very keen on learning from the West. 11. They opened the country, invited Western experts to teach and modernize Thailand. 12. This was completely different from other Southeast Asian. 13. This policy not only helped Thailand develop, but also made Western. 14. That there was no need to occupy Thailand, as it was already known to cooperate in trade. 15. Furthermore, Thailand was also flexible in its foreign policy, showing friendliness to both Britain and France. 16. They knew how to appease both powers while also knowing when to stand up to avoid being dragged into unnecessary war. 17. For instance, during World War II, Thailand skillfully allied with Japan. 18. As inevitable and wanting to avoid direct invasion. 19. Right after the war, Thailand shifted to align with the US and the 20. Traditionally, geographically, Thailand also had the advantage of not being too close to strategic sea routes. 21. Like some other countries in the region, this helped them not become an attractive target for 22. Compared to countries with strategic locations on important maritime routes like Malaysia or Indonesia. 23. Thus, Thailand avoided invasion thanks to the wisdom and flexibility of its lead. 24. Who knew how to leverage its geographical position as a buffer between two major powers? 25. All of this helped Thailand survive, develop independently, and become a country with 26. In Southeast Asia. 27. The third country that has never been invaded is also in Asia, as Bhutan. And 28. This is a relatively small country, located deep in the Himalayas. 29. Bhutan has a special geography and history that helped it avoid occupation by any country. 30. First, geographically, Bhutan lies between two giants, India and China. 31. For a small country like Bhutan, this might seem frightening, but in reality, it was a 32. This country is entirely situated in a high mountainous region. 33. Entering Bhutan from outside is not an easy task. 34. The mountains surrounding this country are like a giant natural fortress. 35. Hoping to avoid most invasions from outside. 36. No one wanted to cover Bhutan because the 37. During the colonial period, the British occupied India and China. 38. But neither side wanted to invest too much effort to conquer a rugged high mountain region. 39. With few resources, small area, and insignificant population. 40. Additionally, this country also had a very wise foreign policy. 41. They implemented an almost isolationist policy, keeping this at 42, and not interfering in it. 43. Facing pressure from China, Bhutan established good relations with India. 44. When India gained independence from Britain, Bhutan signed a treaty. 45. In which India committed to protecting Bhutan and not interfering. 46. Thanks to this, they did not need to build a strong military yet. 47. Without worrying about threats from major countries. 48. And the largest country here. 49. Additionally, Bhutan's religious culture is 50. This is a country that follows Vajrayana Buddhism. They have always maintained a very distinct and unique cultural identity. This makes Bhutan less attractive to external powers. Because ultimately, there is little to gain from a land where people simply want to live in peace. With no significant resources and an underdeveloped economy, this country always emphasizes harmony and values national sovereignty. Instead of measuring by GDP or income, they prefer to measure happiness index, avoiding being drawn into the race for development or power struggles. In summary, this country has avoided invasion thanks to its rugged mountainous geography, wise diplomatic policies, and peaceful attitude. They also do not need to concern themselves with neighboring countries. They even know how to leverage their isolation to protect their culture and national identity. This is truly a prime example of a peaceful life amidst the widespread conflicts and occupations in the region. Outsiders might see the people of Bhutan living a hard and difficult life, but in reality, they feel happy in their own way. The fourth country that has never been invaded is a symbol. This is a prominent country that has never been invaded in major war, especially throughout the modern era, and their story is also very interesting. But earlier, in modern history, Switzerland was invaded by France. And here we're talking about the modern period. Switzerland is located in the heart of Europe, where major wars. Switzerland's ability to maintain independence and peace is also due to its geographic and its diplomatic strategy. First is geography. Geography is also an advantage. Switzerland lies in the Alps with many high mountain regions and rugged terrain. This gives Switzerland natural fortresses to protect the country, making it difficult to invade. The mountainous terrain not only hinders enemy movement and troop transport, but also gives Switzerland a significant defensive advantage. Historically, surrounding powers like France, Germany, and Italy have recognized that invading Switzerland is costly and offers little benefit. Next is Switzerland's famous policy of neutrality. And this is the key to avoiding being dragged into European wars. Since the 19th century, they have declared neutrality and committed to not participating in international. You all go ahead and fight, I don't care. This policy is not just a paper declaration but is strictly enforced. As a result, neighboring countries cannot see Switzerland as a threat and see no need to invade. This policy was even recognized by European countries at the Congress of Vienna in the early 19th century. In addition to neutrality, Switzerland also has a very unique defense system. Without a powerful military like some other countries, Switzerland builds a formidable defensive force. They develop defense plans that leverage the mountainous terrain, constructing solid defensive structures. They also implement a mandatory military service policy. This ensures that a large portion of the population is capable of defending the country. Picking up arms. This sends a clear message that any country wanting to invade Switzerland will face a nationwide resistance from the entire country. Switzerland also has an extensive nationwide shelter system. Another special point is that Switzerland always maintains good relations with surrounding countries, especially through trade and finance. They are famous for their high-security banking system and are a major financial center in Europe. S like I. It serves the economic interests of other countries around the world, including Europe, especially in the fields of asset custody and financial transfer. Having experienced both World War I and World War II, they managed to avoid conflict. Thanks to its inaccessible geographical location, neutral policy, and strong, all these factors form a protective armor for Switzerland. To this day, the country remains world-renowned for its peace. Besides these typical countries that have never been invaded, there are several other noteworthy nations. That is Iceland. Iceland is a European country located in a remote position in the North Atlantic. The country lacks significant resources to attract major power, and deploying troops for invasion is very. In short, Iceland has nothing that makes other countries want to invade it. Even if it had abundant resources, invading Iceland would be very difficult and despite its extremely modest population. Another small European country that has never been invaded is San Marino. San Marino has a position similar to Bhutan in Asia. Small, inconspicuous, entirely within Italian territory, and it is also a country situated on high mountains. This has helped San Marino avoid invasion throughout various historical periods. In Africa, there is Liberia. Liberia was founded by freed slaves from the United States. And due to lacking natural resources and not being as strategic, Liberia maintained its independence throughout the colonial period in Africa. In summary, they have nothing to attract others' interest. Next, in the Pacific, there is Tonga, an isolated island nation. Tonga signed a protectorate treaty with Britain but retained autonomy and has never been occupied. To summarize, countries that have never been invaded must first have a geographical advantage, followed by wise diplomatic policies and skill-informed relations, helping them avoid invasion by stronger powers in history. Interestingly, each country has its own approach to maintain and avoiding becoming a colony or being invaded. Thank you for your interest in following this story. Thank you for accompanying Haikon's story. Traveling through lands. Discovering new things. Do not hesitate to leave feedback. Hope to see you again. Please subscribe to the Guia and My Go channel so you don't miss exciting videos.